Okay, should I start? Okay, I got you. Long story short, we had a lot of people to interview.
Can I test your voice again?
Hello. Hello. Because the first time when I told you, I had a lot of emotions where I couldn't barely talk.
Life's a journey!
Life is journey, not a destination.
Excuse me, do you mind if I ask you a few questions?
No, not at all.
So like at home, so there's a lot of like memories, and so that makes you comfortable.
I think it does. Yes, I think it does.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
When I was a child, I was always very open to people of different cultures. But it wasn't until I ventured to New Mexico to realize that there are different types of culture that go by the same generic name, American. Coming from Boston and celebrating St. Patrick's Day, parades are filled with large green crowds and loud-sounding instruments walking from one side of South Boston to another, all in a row. Children scream in fear of the loud, unfamiliar noises of guns firing and firecrackers exploding. People shiver due to the frigid month of March, but keep their eyes peeled to the processions as they walk by. Lines of metal fences surround the processions to block crowds from creeping up closer than they should be. Many people push through strong crowds and can barely see if they don't get a great spot to stand. The smell of corned beef fills the air as neighborhood houses prepare their dinners. I realized how different the American identity was when I got into the Global Leadership Forum and flew halfway across the country alone with nobody to talk to right away. My plane had landed and pulled into the terminal at the Albuquerque airport, and as soon as I walked up to the gates, I realized that New Mexico and Massachusetts are two American states, but have two different cultural backgrounds. Mountains were in plain sight. There was a bright blue sky, bluer than I had ever seen. The Boston buildings were replaced with trees and mountains with flat tops. There was a sense of quietness throughout the airport. I also noticed that the houses were different. They were spread far apart rather than very close together. They were also smaller, most having only one floor rather than three. In Boston, they are all different colors, styles, and made of different materials. The houses in Santa Fe were all the same and made mostly of clay. With the Global Leadership Forum, I went to the Santo Domingo Pueblo Feast Day, a very spiritual experience that filled my eyes with amazement. I took in the surroundings in silence as the hundreds of dancers danced throughout the pueblo. All members of the tribes were moving their feet to the beat of the songs in unison. Stern faces were concentrating on their footwork, a truly amazing experience. Everywhere, I smelled the soft, savory bread that is made in the special ovens in the pueblo. Markets selling goods everywhere. The people were speaking to every person who came by their small tents filled with beautiful, homemade jewelry. Although it may not have looked like South Boston, it reminded me of the togetherness at home. New Mexico and Massachusetts are two different American states. They have two different American cultures.
I am not a girl, not yet a woman, but I can identify myself as the girl who lived a life of a pioneer when her favorite outfit included a dirty yellow shirt handmade by her mother, Ama. She's gotten to ride horses on her own at the age of 6 with the help of her father, Appa. Passing through forest with the breeze pushing her light body slightly back and forth, she rode wearing her only pair of worn-out boots, sewn 100 times by her parents with love, that kept her moving forward to her destination, Now her destination has reached a point where she can also identify herself as an up-and-coming woman who leads her way to the future with the appreciation of her past experiences. A woman now walking on the busy streets of New York City and riding the subway with the mixture of Chanel perfume to sweat while she's stuck in a claustrophobia between people. I feel as if I have lived this life ever since I have been born. A life where my parents worry about making my career instead of making an outfit. But when thinking about me when I was a girl, I think about my childhood best friend. A family is what she has created because she hasn't gotten to walk into the world of choices. If I was still in the village in Nepal, I wouldn't be surprised if she had 3 kids of her own. Now, the thought of seeing her as a mother doesn't seem right at all. She was not a girl, not yet a woman. I've grown to love moving my life around to new places and being a history of my own.
Courtney McColgan, Boston, Massachusetts, Global Leadership Forum.
Yangzom, Dolma, Kathmandu, Nepal, and New York City, Global Leadership Forum.